This week on the Analog Circle podcast, we get some news about Black Myth Wukong, and man, oh man, is it a bit of a doozy. A lot of people talk about how long Senua Saga takes to beat, but how many people have actually beat it? How many people put that wrench time in that short game and actually completed the story? Oh, we got the numbers. We're going to definitely talk about that a little later. We have, now this is the thing. If you have ever wondered what pricing is for a developer to show their game off at Summer Game Fest, we got the numbers on that as well. And I think, now I can only speak for me, I was shocked about how much it cost, but you may feel differently. And we get the official pricing for both Astro Bot and Concord. All of these stories can be found here and more in episode 213 of the Analog Circle podcast. I am your host, Kiaun Mitchell, and welcome to the show. Welcome. It is always a pleasure and a privilege to have you guys here. Now, before we officially get started into the episode, if you would like to be a part of listener feedback, you can do that two different ways. You can do it by either calling in at 443-380-0281, or you can email the show, and the email address is theanalogcirclepodcast@gmail.com. So without further ado, guys, let's get into what we all come here for, and that is the gaming news that went down. Now, before I get into the gaming news, I want to let you guys know I saw that Summer Games Fest event. Oh my gosh. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I gave that show a 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. And I'll tell you why. I literally started to fall asleep. I was looking at that show when I was up in Buffalo, New York, and I thought it was going to be a doozy. Oh, man, in a good way. I thought it was going to blow my socks off. Jeff Keighley has been on a great trajectory lately. His shows have continued to get better and better each year. So I was not expecting anything less. Now, I understand Jeff Keighley came out there and he gave us expectations. But man, this show was I'll tell you this. One of the main reasons why I did not like the show, I mean, outside of them not showing pretty much anything that interests me, everything looked, man, some of that stuff didn't even look mediocre. When I look back at it again, I said, man, this stuff just looks bad. It looks terrible. None of these games are pushing gaming forward. None of them are graphical showpieces. I mean, even doggone Horizon Legos. I said, I don't know what the heck you doing, Sony. This is terrible. That thing looked bad. And hey, Sony, I don't know what's up with you, brother. I don't know what's going on with y'all over there. Putting games on the Switch? Y'all putting this game on the Switch, though. I got concerns. I got some concerns about that. I know some guys were so happy to see that. They were more happy about that than the show. They saw that one announcement. That jokers was like, that's all I need. That's all the ammo I need to fight these jokers, to let them know PlayStation is doing the same thing that Xbox is doing. Golly. And it's hard to refute that. You know, I understand that it's a Legos licensed game and all of that stuff, but darn, Sony, you put it on Nintendo? You put it on Nintendo, knowing the rocky history, the beef that y'all have had over the last couple of decades? You put it on there. And the thing was, this was so disrespectful to a certain degree, in my opinion, because as rocky of ain't even a relationship. These guys have been going at it for decades, like I just said. Nintendo and Sony. Nintendo stabbed Sony in the back before they even really got started. Got stabbed straight in the back. And they had a bad, they were aiming for Nintendo since then. And y'all put your game on their console? Come on. But like I was going to say, the disrespectful thing about it is that Sony is so petty that they said, man, darn all that. We don't give a doggone where the game got to go, but we are not putting it on Xbox. I'm like, dag. Xbox is giving y'all, they ain't give you nothing. I know you got to sell them and they're going to make money off of you, but they put Sea of Thieves over there that's doing well for y'all. Put Hi-Fi Rush over there, Pentiment. They just gave you 3 or 4 joints. And and Doom is coming to your console. Them jokers said, darn all that. We don't give a care about none of that. We ain't giving you nothing. Xbox should get absolutely nothing. Jokers just some shots fired on y'all motherfuckers. Yeah. Them jokers said it is beef. Man. Goodness gracious, the disrespect, shots fired all over the place.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Joker said, ain't nobody coming to see Xbox. This is crazy. This game ain't gonna sell. Man, I just don't understand it. Wow. But anyway, getting back to this Summer Games Fest. Yeah, they didn't show much at all. And for all of the PC guys, because I'm about to wrap this up, I don't want to get too long in the tooth with this. But for these guys that are PC guys, PC Master Race, man, all of your games that were PC centric in that show that were only releasing on PC, man, them joints look whack. Absolutely whack. Y'all ain't pushing the needle with nothing. Nothing. If I was thinking about getting PC and I said, I need a game, I need one game that's going to make me go over there to the PC Master Race. Give me one game that's really pushing the envelope that would get me over there. Man, them jokers ain't have nothing. Absolutely nothing. They ain't had nothing that looked like Gears of War. They ain't had nothing that looked like God of War. They ain't had nothing that looked like Uncharted. They ain't had nothing that looked like doggone shoot. It ain't even their game, but Kena Bridge of Spirits. Them jokers had nothing. So every time these PC guys talk and say how great PC is and all of that stuff, man, look at your games, man. You ain't got nothing. You need console gaming. Y'all call us peasants because of the specs of what we got going on, but we got some dope games. And y'all jokers are always more than happy to have your hand out to get your hands on them so y'all can play them because y'all dry over there on PC. You ain't got nothing. Nothing at all. What game over there on PC is the equivalent of a God of War? And I'm talking about it's exclusive to that platform. Where's your Ghost of Tsushima? Shucks, where's your Halo? I understand some people want to say Xbox is PC. PC is, nah. I ain't doing that. Nah, Xbox was Xbox before they even start doing what they were doing. But where are your games that are on that level? I don't see any. The only games y'all want to talk about are the ones that actually come over there that are either released day and date on console, like the third party ones, Assassin's Creed, or what else? Shucks, y'all don't even get some of the sports games the same time the consoles do. Y'all darn sure ain't getting Grand Theft Auto. Y'all ain't even getting GTA 6 when consoles are gonna get it. So yeah, I don't buy into the PC is the best place to play. So what, y'all got better frames? So what, you got better resolution? Who cares? Where are your games? What are you bringing to the gaming table? What are you bringing? What game can you claim that you have that has moved the needle for console gamers to want to go over there to PC? This taking full advantage of your 4080, your 4090, your 30 series. I ain't see one. So I'm real cool off of y'all PC dudes, man. Y'all always, I ain't gonna say y'all begging. I ain't gonna say that. That might be a little too extra, because y'all will just wait. Y'all will just sit and wait for the games to come. But when they come, oh man, I know y'all happy. I know y'all so happy to get them, because y'all, man, good grief. It's dry. It's dry over there. Golly, those tinkly wink games. Whoa, wee. And it's rough over there being a PC gamer. But anyway, I'm going to get off of that, man. The show, again, it was a 3 out of 10. Jeff, you really took a back seat on this one, my brother. Man, I'm hoping next year you'll do much better, because this year, this was not it. Not even close. But speaking of Jeff Keighley, I was letting you guys know in the intro that we got some pricing as to how much it costs to actually attend a Jeff Keighley show, Summer's Game Fest or Summer Games Fest, if you are a developer. So we got some pricing that's coming courtesy of, I got this story from Game Developers. So, we all know that E3 was expensive too. That was another thing. Very, very expensive to show, getting the booths and all of that stuff set up. I get it. But this pricing that Jeff Keighley has, man, this brother's running this thing like the NFL does with Super Bowl commercials at this point. So this is the pricing. Now, this is on the low end. Developers, they have to pay $250,000 for a 1-minute trailer. $250,000. Get you 1 minute of doggone shine time on the screen. But we got more pricing. Now, if you want to go for 90 seconds, that minute and a half, you got to come up with $350,000. That's going to get you a minute and a half of screen time. Now, if you want to go for the big boy package, which is 2.5 minutes, if you want your trailer up there for 2.5 minutes, it is going to cost you $550,000, over $500,000 for 2 minutes of screen time. Now, once again, these numbers are coming from Game Developers, from their website. Now, this is the thing. They also said that it was speculated. Now, this isn't for sure, but it's been speculated that last year's showcase, this is Jeff Keighley's showcase, made $9.65 million. $9.65 million. So Jeff Keighley, make no mistake about it, this brother is rolling in money. His bank account is thick. $9.65 million last year. And this was a 2-hour show. And on the low end, for the ones that wanted that 1 minute trailer, they had to pay $250,000. If you were to sit back and do the math on which one was a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes, Jeff cleaned house. He cleaned up. He absolutely did. But the other thing is, I do want to say this as well. Kotaku, they did report that some major publishers get, quote, earned editorial placements, end of quote, during the main show at no cost. So not everybody is paying. There are some that get that earned editorial placement, at no cost, but I'm sure those are probably bigger publishers, bigger developers. We're talking about probably Ubisoft's, EA, Xbox Game Studios, Sony's studios, whether it's Naughty Dog or Sucker Punch, just some bigger echelon names in the game. Now, I'm not saying that's guaranteed. I'm just saying that's what I'm speculating is the case. But the takeaway of this is Jeff Keighley, this joker is making a lot of money, and the pricing, let's say that it's a developer that has several games. Well, not a developer, but a publisher that has several different games coming out that year. And even if they show off, let's say 2 games coming underneath, their their publishing wing. Let's say they got 2 games and they want to show off a minute for each. That's $500,000 for 2 minutes of stage time. That is absolutely nuts. But yeah, man, Jeff, you're making the money, brother. I mean, congratulations on that. I can't knock the hustle. You know, this guy found a lane. He is driving in that lane at full speed. You know, but I was really shocked, though. Did you guys know that it cost this much for this much screen time? I mean, of course, like I was saying earlier, E3 was always very, very expensive. Now, I don't know how much those events cost. I don't know if they spent $3-4 million on them, you know, for that week or that weekend, you know, however long they were there. I don't know. But man, you get enough games that you want to show off at this, at a Jeff Keighley event. It can add up, man. If you're doing 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, you spending $550,000 out the gate just to get that. But anyway, I feel like I've been very, very long-winded on Jeff Keighley. Hopefully he'll get it together next year. Not even next year. Hopefully he'll be able to make up for it with this year's Game Awards, and we'll see some better stuff. But we will see what happens when it happens. But let's go ahead and let's get into the next story. And this next story, I actually got it from True Achievement. So before we get into the first story, I want to shout out Mr. Lawrence Jones. Shout out to that good brother. He is the guy that runs everything in the Analog Circle Podcast Facebook group. Shout out to that good brother for bringing this story to my attention. So, by looking at global Xbox achievement data from Senua's Saga, and more importantly, concentrating on one specific achievement called End the Tyranny, which you get once you complete the game, according to the stats, 87% of Xbox players who have booted up Senua's Saga have not, and I repeat, have not finished the game. Now, the game, and what makes this even more unreal, is the game you can beat it in 8 to 10 hours. And 87% of Xbox players that booted this up have not completed this game. I gotta say, man, thinking about it from that perspective, that has to hurt. As a developer, you giving a super short experience, and not even, I can't even say not even, but a whole 87% have not finished the game. God, dog. Now that has to lead to another question. Now, a lot of people are saying how great the game is. I told y'all that game is selling me an Xbox Series X. Shout out to, well, I don't want to name his name, but shout out to you, brother, for giving me that link to see, you know, to see that the Xbox Series X, by the way, it's on sale. Well, it was on sale at Best Buy for $400. I was like, oh, I'm be honest with you though, brother. I ain't got it right now. I ain't got it. I just ain't got the 400 right now. If I did, man, brother, way Xbox moving, man, shucks. Hey, man, I would have been happy to pick that up, but I will definitely be getting it eventually. Soon as I get the money, brother. I'm broke at the moment, but soon as I got the money, I'm going to definitely go out there and pick that up. Cause, Senua's Saga was definitely the game that did it for me. You guys know I'm a huge Ninja Theory fan. I think they do fantastic work. Yes, they've had maybe a few hiccups here and there for sure. But I'm just still a big fan and really believe in those guys and what they do. So just to hear that 87% of the people that downloaded the game didn't beat it, that's just really, really disheartening. And this goes back to something, and I'm hoping to get you guys out of here within an hour. I don't know how that's going to work, but this is interesting too, because you guys know I'm not really an achievement hunter. I don't really go for achievements or rare achievements or even trophies for that matter. I want to just beat the game, have a good time, and move on. Now, if the game does, captivate me enough and it makes me want to do some side missions like Red Dead Redemption 2. I think I completed most of the side missions, not all of them, but I completed a nice chunk of them. So much so I got a rare achievement. And I had started noticing that it was a couple of games I was getting rare achievements in, like Ori, and the Blind Forest. When I played that, I got a rare achievement. Like I said, Red Dead Redemption 2, and like 2 or 3 other games. And I'm like, how am I getting these rare achievements? This is nuts. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything outside of the ordinary because it doesn't really appeal to me like that. So when I was seeing these percentages of players that were actually getting some of these achievements, I was like, what the heck is going on? That was already a red flag years ago when I would be beating these games and it'd be like 22% of people beat this game. And I'm like, God darn, I know I ain't that good. I'm not that great of a gamer. I love gaming. It is my favorite thing to do, but I'm not great at it. I'm not. So I'm like, why the world and how the world am I getting these rare achievements when I'm not doing anything special? It was because people were not beating or even playing the game. I would get to like level 6 or 7 or something like that, and all of a sudden it's saying rare achievement unlocked. I'm like, for just beating the level? Darn. This is crazy. So yeah, this has always been a situation on Xbox, unfortunately. And man, it's stuff like this that makes me, become a little conflicted on why Xbox is doing what they're doing. Because if you're looking and you're seeing that your fan base, and I'm not saying that it speaks for everybody, but 87% of people that downloaded the game didn't finish it. It's like, man, you can't help but to feel a certain way about that. Now, granted, if Senua's Saga is not that good, then that's another thing, because we did hear that it's not the kind of game that's going to appeal to everybody. So we got to be fair with that as well. Maybe this is just one of those games that, is more artsy and not really gamey, even though that's not really a word, but y'all know what I'm saying. It's not very, it's not very fun to play. So maybe that was the situation. I hope that was it, which is why most people didn't finish the game. But if any of you guys have actually played it and beat it, I would love to get an honest review from you guys. Either you can call in or email the show to do that. I would love to get your thoughts and opinions on how you felt about the game by the time it was over. But guys, let's go ahead though, and let's get into the next story that I actually got from GameSpot. So we all know, we all know now that Astro Bot will be releasing on September 6th. That is a day one for me, by the way. But one piece of info we didn't get was the pricing of the title. Well, now we do, because the game will retail for $60. $60! That's a great price. Great price. Not a full-fledged game. Trust me, I think 50, be honest with you, 50 would have been better. But I mean, it is Astro Bot and these jokers over at Asobi. Yeah, those guys are absolutely amazing. So $60 is fair. Plus you're going to get like over 80 levels to play and all of that stuff. But if you pre-order the physical game, you get a double-sided poster, a Parappa the Rapper skin, and 2 PSN avatars, and a graffiti skin for Astro's dual speeder vehicle. But for the record, you can, and they wanted to make and put an emphasis on this. For the record, you can unlock all of these items by playing the game, because there is no microtransaction. Zero. Let this be celebrated. Let's celebrate that, because so many people are against the microtransactions. You don't have one in this game. Now, the other thing that I do want to bring up when it comes to Astro Bot, and I actually wrote this down a little later, so I got to find it now just to have it coincide with this story. So, in fantastic news, though, this is another fantastic story. about Astro Bot. It's been some new trophies, missions, and collectibles that have been added to the game for free. And it is estimated that this content is around an hour or so long. So if you were looking for a reason to jump back into Astro Bot, as it were, this is a good a time as any, because you're going to be able to get those extra trophies. I'm sure you're going to get some extra items to find, and an hour or so of extra content for free, just to celebrate the game actually being released in September 6th to be exact. But let's go ahead, guys, and let's get into the next story that I actually got from game developers. Nope, that ain't game developers. No, I already covered that story. That was Jeff Keighley's story. So we're going to move on to WCCF Tech. That was where I got this story from. So according to a new report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, Rocksteady Studios and Warner Brothers Interactive are teaming up to do a, quote, director's cut, end of quote, version of Hogwarts Legacy. Now, outside of this, nothing more is known about this project. Now, on a side note, according to people familiar with the situation, Rocksteady, just on a side note, outside of that, Rocksteady and Warner Brothers Interactive teaming up to do this director's cut of Hogwarts Legacy, they are also saying that Rocksteady is looking to pitch a new single-player game to Warner Brothers. Now, this is interesting. I want to talk about this just for a minute, because it was reports that had come out, several different reports that were saying that Warner Brothers was going to be shutting down Rocksteady. When I heard that, I got very, very worried, because Rocksteady is a fantastic studio. And if we had been in another time where so many, developers and teams let me start over. If we were like in a different time where we weren't seeing so many developers and development teams and just so many people getting laid off in the industry, I would have said that's hogwash. Ain't no way they shutting down doggone Rocksteady. Do you know their resume? Do you know their hit list? These jokers made Batman amazing in video games. For the first time, they made a superhero game fantastic. For the first time on the level that they did it, you got to be crazy. Ain't no way they shutting down Rocksteady. But in this day and age, and especially after finding out that I think Suicide Squad cost Warner Brothers like $250 million that they lost. Oh, yeah, I got nervous. I started sweating a little bit when I was seeing that report. I said, I don't know. They could very well be shutting these jokers down because they struck out when it came to that game. Now, granted, I don't blame Rocksteady for that, though, because we know this is not what they do. They don't do those gas games. That's not their lane. They do single player experiences. That's what they do. But they were forced, to do this because, the publisher, you got to do what the publisher tells you to do. Look, man, we don't want you doing that right now. We need to make more money. So the way we can make more money is if you do it this way. And I'm sure Rocksteady probably told them, well, I don't think that's going to work. And they said, no. The suits, that is, do it this way. We need this. We need you to do it this way. This is what we need to make this money. And they were forced to do it. And unfortunately, things just did not work out. I mean, for me, I have the game. I did not get into it fully. I played like maybe an hour of it, and I was loving it. I was really enjoying it so far. The only character, like I said, I don't think I'm going to enjoy playing as is Boomerang. I didn't like his movement. And Harley Quinn either. I wasn't really feeling her movement much either. But King Shark and what's his name? Killshot. I can't remember his name. I don't know his name. I can't remember, but he has the jetpack. Those two, I really, really like their traversal. It really felt good. It felt smooth and clean, with the, controller. So yeah, I look forward to getting into that. But, I hope this is true. I hope they will be able to pitch another game, another single player game, that being the key, single player, keyword, that they'll give them another shot, because I know that it was at one point in time, it was rumors going around that they would be working on a Superman game. Of course, that didn't happen. We know now it was Suicide Squad, but hopefully they would give them a chance to do something with Superman. I think that would be dope. We haven't seen a good Superman game ever outside of the arcade version, which was a beat 'em up years ago. I mean, that was many, many years ago. We saw that Superman beat 'em up, and I thought that was dope. But, the last Superman game that really comes to mind, and unfortunately, it is N64's Superman 64. That was the worst. So bad that they just crippled the whole franchise from ever being explored and gaming again, outside of Mortal Kombat, I believe. But anyway, we'll see what happens with this. This is very interesting, this Hogwarts Legacy director's cut. I wonder what that's going to have in it. What kind of content they're going to put in there. Will it be some extra content? Will it possibly be some content that was actually cut out of the original game? I mean, only time can tell, but hopefully this is the thing I really hope for, these director's cuts that are coming out in the modern day age in gaming. I would hope that they would really add like a lot of different things, even if it's like concept art. And I know we get that, from time to time, but I would like to see some of the levels that were never made, some of the characters that might have got cut out, some of the different story beats that were cut, those kind of things. I think that would be fantastic in a director's cut, to give us something, a lot more than just, I don't know, some free DLC with a different skin on a character or extra broom or something like that. I want some content that is a little more deeper, a little more meaningful, and those kinds of things, seeing different dialogue that might've been cut and different cut scenes. Well, literally like scenes that were cut out of the game. I think that would bring a lot more value and make people want to spend that extra money, even if they do have, the original version, to give them something else to get excited about. So we'll see what happens with that. But let's go ahead, guys, and let's get into the next story. Now, this next story, I got this from VG247, and this brings me no joy to report on this, but it just further confirms the sign of the times. Now, another remaster of a Halo Combat Evolved seems to be in the works, but this time it looks like it's being considered. Now, that's a key word, considered, for a release on the PS5. Now, Tom Warren from The Verge is reporting that this remaster is in the early stages of development, but is being considered for PS5 as a part of Microsoft's new strategy of bringing some titles that were once exclusive over to rival platforms. Now, this is a little different. This is a lot different. I mean, Hi-Fi Rush, okay, no real ties to the Xbox brand. Pentiment, darn sure no ties there. Sea of Thieves, I mean, you could say it has some ties from the Xbox One era. I mean, that's fair. But when you talk about Halo is just a whole different monster when it comes to the connection to Xbox. If it wasn't for Master Chief, if it wasn't for Bungie, if it wasn't for Halo coming out and doing what it did, it is a very, very, very good possibility that Xbox is not here today. Halo did so much for the Xbox brand. It brought it popularity. It made the online space so much better, bringing that to console, not for the first time, but bringing it to console in a way more modern way than what the Dreamcast was able to do. With, that dial-up network, that was no longer the case. They had an Ethernet port with the Xbox, the original Xbox, took it to a whole nother level. The linking of the different systems together, having the LAN parties, all of that was just Halo driven. And if you take that kind of character, that iconic of a character from your brand, from the console, that really literally helped build Xbox from the ground up. If you were to bring that over to PlayStation, that is a video game war crime. That is treason to the 10th degree. That should just never, ever be the play. That should never be the case. To take Master Chief and put him on PlayStation, come on. Now that right there, that's just way too far. Now again, these are rumors. Nothing is confirmed. According to Tom Warren, this is being considered, to be a situation that could happen. I'm hoping they consider not putting it over there. Reconsider the whole thing and say, no, we can't put Master Chief over there. Nah, we can't do that. It's been some Xbox fans, and man, sometimes Xbox fans, you can't really listen to them all the time. Sometimes they'll be like, oh man, if they do this, I'm out. I ain't never coming back. And, Xbox does what they do, and they still holding on and making excuses, about the behavior that's going on over there at Xbox. But I will say though, man, look, I don't want to give it away. I want you guys to check out that episode that I did with my live reaction. But I mean, I'm talking this way about Xbox, but man, listen, you listen to that reaction. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully y'all will. Xbox is, oh man, she whiz, man. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it here. Like I said, if you want to hear my reaction, real live, honest reaction, that was my first time watching the show. Definitely check out that episode. But getting back to this, if they were to do this, I can only imagine, the day one users, the supporters of the Xbox brand, this would be a bridge too far. You bring Master Chief over there, you may as well just bring the whole slate. If you're that's like Mario going over to PlayStation. That's just gaming treason. You just should not do it. So again, it's not confirmed. I hope this isn't true. That would really hurt if they were to do that. That would truly, truly hurt, man. And again, hopefully this is not the case. This is just rumors, and it's a bad rumor. Hopefully it's a bad one, because the last time we heard the rumors about certain games going to PlayStation, it ended up being true. And they're there right now, unfortunately. So we'll just definitely have to keep our eye and our ears open when it comes to this story. And for me, I am truly hoping that this game does not go over to the PlayStation brand. I will say, though, this is also just getting off of that perspective of it. This is actually kind of interesting, too, because if this is a remaster of Halo Combat Evolved, you guys remember that story that came out that said that those guys over at, what's their name? 343 Studios or Industries. You guys remember that report that said that they were actually going to be moving over to Unreal Engine 5. So if that's the case, that could very, very well mean that this game will be remastered in Unreal Engine 5, which could definitely take it up a couple of notches. Now, the other thing was some people were getting this confused. I was even confused about it. with this being the Master Chief Collection. I thought that's what this was at first, but then I read like one or two more articles that actually kept saying that it was just Halo Combat Evolved. So they were talking about just the first game. Now, granted, none of us know for sure what's happening. It could be another I don't know why they would remaster all of the Halos all over again. I don't know why they would do that, but I mean, I guess only time will tell. The reason why I think it's more realistic that they're remastering this first one is to just kind of spark back some more interest into the franchise as a whole, because lately the franchise has not been in the best light. They definitely did some great strides with the DLC, the combat to keep the game going, but it was off when it first came out. It was off when it came to the DLC and keeping the content fresh, and that really hurt them, especially being a year later than it was supposed to be. So it hasn't, Halo just has not had like the best reputation lately. They've definitely made up for it in a lot of different ways, but I think that by them remastering I would really hope for a remake and not a remaster, but this remaster that they're talking about, if they're doing it for the first one, I think it'd be great just to bring everybody back to the beginning of, what made you a Halo fan to begin with, kind of put that back out there, get people excited for Master Chief, let people play that for a little bit. And then, later on, you release the new Halo and people hopefully are a little more rejuvenated, excited about it, and, ready to give Master Chief another shot. But we will see. But let's go ahead and let's get into the next story. And this is a quick story. I actually got this from Push Square. So in quick news, PS5 first-person shooter Concord has been confirmed to have the price tag of $40. Do y'all think that's a fair price? Concord being at $40. Like I said, those kind of games, they don't appeal to me too much. They're really not my thing. If it had a campaign on it, I would probably give it a shot because it looked like a solid game. Gunplay wise, gameplay wise, the different weapons, the different characters, the environments, the different traversal that the characters were able to do. I mean, it had all of the elements of a game that I would be interested in playing. It just doesn't have a campaign. Even, like I say, the graphics even look pretty good on it. So I'm just curious to know, is $40 a fair price point for this, or do you guys think it should have been free to play? I'm always very, no matter what it is. I mean, look, I will never play them, but when I hear free to play, I always get very cautious because I'm like, man, they're going to charge you for every little thing that you get in the game. At least if you pay for the game up front, you at least get something. You get some things, maybe a starter pack, a nice gun. I don't know, just something to get you started. But that free to play model, that's always going to raise some real concerns for me. But as far as I'm concerned, Concord, I think it's fair. $40 for the game. It looks good. It looks sound. It looks pretty sound. A lot of people are saying they don't think it's gonna hit. But then a lot of people didn't think Helldivers 2 was gonna hit. So, I mean, they may be batting 2 for 2 with this. You never know. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on it. Is the price tag good enough? Is it $40 fair? And do you think they may have another hit on their hands? I think this is a hero shooter is what they call them. I don't know. I'm definitely curious to see how it performs and how many people give it a chance. Plus, it's on PC. PC ain't got nothing else better to do than to play. I'm going to lighten up on PC dudes, man. I'm going to start getting hate from them eventually. God, dog, I don't know, man. I don't mean no harm, man. Nah, yeah, I do. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I do. I don't like that attitude sometimes. Some of that attitudes are real whack. To be showing off the kind of games that Jeff Keighley showed off. Y'all talking too much. Acting like y'all are so much better than console gamers. That's the thing, but y'all love the games we have. Y'all love them. It's the craziness about it. We don't really rock with y'all games, but y'all love ours. Anyway, all right, I'm going to get off of that. But, yeah, I'm curious to know, what you guys think about this Concord situation. I need to calm down, man. God, dog. But let me go ahead and let's move into the next story. We're about to be done here in a couple of minutes, but I actually got this story from IGN. So I don't think any of us were under the impression that Black Myth Wukong wasn't coming to Xbox. That was the thing. During that show, Jeff Keighley's show, I was looking and I'm like, wait a minute. I only see a PlayStation logo. What the world is going on with this? So, I was under the same impression, like, okay, this is coming to Xbox, but then all of a sudden, nah. But, yeah, it's, it just wasn't clear cut, what was going on with the game. And the developer, because of this, the developer, their name is Game Science. They said this in a FAQ. They said, quote, PC and PS5 users can enjoy the full game starting August 20th, 2024. We are currently optimizing the Xbox Series XS version to meet our quality standards, so it won't release simultaneously with the other platforms. We apologize for the delay and aim to minimize the wait time for Xbox users. We will announce the release date as soon as it meets our quality standards. Now, this is the thing. I wanted to hit that button, but I can't hit the button on them because this makes me think back to the Xbox Series S. Now, we've seen what Black Myth Wukong looks like. Man, that game looks fantastic. Graphically, that game looks really great. Great presentation on that game right there. And we've already heard the woes and the stories of different developers having to compromise their game to fit on the Xbox Series S. The X has never been a problem. We have never heard any developers actually ever talk negative about the Series X. It's always been the Series S. So it makes me believe that the X is not the problem. It's the S. And because everything that runs on the X has to run on the S, man, these jokers are running into problems. So as a result of that, the game will not release day and date with the PlayStation 5 version. That is a tough blow. It's the same thing all over again with Baldur's Gate 3, where PlayStation, not even a planned exclusive to the platform, is going to get, in so many ways, an exclusive to their platform, them and PC, just by default, because these guys have to figure out a way to have the game run on the Series S. I'm not going to even put the X up there, but for the Series S to actually be able to run it, and it's going to take some time. It was someone that said that this could take maybe 6 months to a year for them to actually be able to get this thing up and running. I hope that's not the case. Of course, nobody knows for sure. Only the guys over there. What's their name again? The developer, what's their name? Game Science. Only they know for sure how long it's going to take. But I definitely hope it doesn't take 6 to 12 months to figure this out, because by that time, dang, man, PlayStation has just had a lucky streak when it comes to this. I mean, this is just Xbox handing them W's by mistake, handing those guys W's. I mean, PlayStation is, man, oh man, they got to be the luckiest gaming company this generation so far to be coming up on these kind of exclusives that are artificially made. Exclusives that are coming to PlayStation and supposed to be coming to Xbox, but because they're having trouble with that Series S, PlayStation is out there by themselves with these games. So we know that Wukong is going to be one of those games, Black Myth Wukong. A lot of people are looking forward to it. It's just real unfortunate, for Xbox fans that, man, y'all got to wait yet again. And it's not even a fault of PlayStation. PlayStation didn't even lock this thing up as an exclusive. How crazy is that? Just the bad luck. I mean, I don't know about bad luck, but just the timing of everything is unfortunate. But the game, for the record, is coming to Xbox. I know some people thought that Sony was money-hatting this project. That is not the case. They're not doing that. They just came up on a real good stroke of I don't even know, man, just luck. I mean, I don't believe in luck, but they just came up they came up. That's the best way I can say it. But anyway, we'll see what happens with this. This is definitely another game that I'm keeping my eye on. I'm not going to say that I'm sold on it. I mean, graphically, I'm sold on it. Oh man, y'all know I'm so shallow. I'm shallow how when it comes to games with pretty graphics, environments that are destructible. Oh man, come on, you got me hook, line, and sinker. Now, if you put that with some dope gameplay, that's it. That's all I need. That is it. The story could just be average, and I would still enjoy the game. But I'm not 100% willing to jump into that one fully. I'm just going to keep my eye on it and to see if it is like a Demon Souls, a Souls-like kind of game. Because if it is, I am OUT. I'm not even going to try to even get into that game. But we'll see what happens, man. Let's get into the next story, though, that I actually got from Kotaku. So on October 22nd, Alan Wake 2 will get a physical deluxe edition that will retail for $79.99. Wow. That is awesome. Physical. $79.99. Now that price tag will include the Night Springs and Lake House DLCs, a reversible cover art, and a digital copy of the original Alan Wake remaster. Now, 2 months later, Remedy will release a bigger collector's edition for $199.99, which will include a replica of Alan Wake's Angel Lamp, key replica for the Ocean View Hotel, a pen set, an art book, and a keychain. So that's for the fan that is like huge into Alan Wake. $200. That gets you a nice amount of stuff. But if you just want to keep it basic and you wanted that physical edition of the game, like myself, I had no idea this was happening. This was one of the much, much better announcements at the game, the Game Awards, at Summer Games Fest. This was a really great announcement. I was very happy to see this. And just the fact that these guys are actually coming out with a physical copy of the game for $80 and including that much content, I would buy the game for $80. Getting the whole original Alan Wake remaster along with the art, the digital art, and the DLCs. The DLCs look good too. That was another whoa moment for me when I saw Quantum Break, the character from Quantum Break and the character from Control all in this world, this universe. I was like, That is nuts. That's bananas. So I was excited for that, and I'm very excited to get my hands on the physical version of Alan Wake 2. It's definitely one of those games that I want to play, and it's just giving me more of a reason to pick it up now that it is physically available. Now, I should have, it slipped my mind. I should have reported on this when I was talking about Wukong. So I got to back up with this one a little bit. But this next story I actually got from The Gamer. So speaking of physical copies, Black Myth Wukong will not come with a physical disc, but instead have a voucher inside the box to redeem online for the full game. Now, the reason why this is happening is because they're facing limitations in offline resources required for the import, export, transportation, distribution, and sales of physical discs. But they aren't ruling it out for it happening later down the line. So if you're a person like me, well, I can't say like me because I don't know if I'm getting it 100% or not yet. But if you're a person that was looking forward to or is looking forward to buying Black Myth Wukong, just remember you will not be getting a physical disc with it. And that goes for the collector's edition. As much as that costs and as many things as you get with it, the one thing you will not be getting is a physical disc. So be on the lookout for that. But anyway, that is the end of the gaming news this week, which this week we do not have a video game theater to play. That'll be back. That will be back on the next episode because I want to jump into the question of the week. Now, I know you guys saw it from the beginning of the show, but I just want us to go over it officially. And thank you guys again for being here. But the question this week is, what score did you give the Xbox Showcase? I want to tell y'all my score so bad, man. I really, really do. But I want you to listen to the episode that I recorded it on. Let me say this. Let me say this. I was not impressed. I was impressed. The things that they showed, it was some surprises. It was some low points. It was some high points. It was a show that I thought everybody could walk away from that show and say, I saw something that appealed to me. They showed off third party. They showed off first party. Oh, first part. Oh, man. God, doggy. God, doggy. Man. Man, those jokers showed off first party like their life was on the line, bruh. Oh, man. I'm not going to give up my score. I ain't going to give it up. Y'all going to have to listen to that episode. But I want to hear from y'all. I usually don't do this, but, I want you to, the reason why I'm pushing for that episode is because it's the first time I was able to look at one of these events live for the first time. Raw and uncut, emotion, how I was feeling in the moment. It's the first time I've been able to do this this year, with the different shows that have happened. But the other shows I had already seen them. I knew what was going on. Yeah. With the PlayStation show, I kind of half looked at it a little bit here and there, to try to keep some of the surprise, once I recorded for the State of Play event. But this one was the first time that I was able to give you guys exactly what I would be watching in real time, over the years. Like, this is the first time I was able to do it. So I just am hoping that you guys would, share in that moment with me. Who knows? You guys might have already downloaded that episode already and know exactly what my score was, because I actually put that up first. And then, I've recorded both of these episodes today, which is, Sunday. So, if you were, able to get it, you saw that come up first, and this one is going to come up way hours and hours later. Yeah, I'm just curious to know, what were you guys' thoughts? What were some of your favorite games? What were some of your favorite announcements? Man, I'm going to tell you, I had several different announcements that they made. Ooh, whoo, man, your guy was in here, man. Good gosh. I think I lost my mind for a second while I was watching that show. I forgot I was in my doggone house. I thought I was there on the front row at the doggone showcase for real. Some of those games was just hitting me, man. It was really, really hitting me. And I was just, I was in the moment, man. I truly was. After I finished with that show, man, I had a headache. And I think it was because I was yelling so much. Oh, man. Anyway, look, hopefully you guys check it out. I would hope so, but I'm not going to draw this thing out. We're at an hour and 1 minute. So what was your score for the event? And this is for the record. What was your score for the event? And what were some of your favorite games that you saw? Like some surprises that you weren't expecting to see, some games that now you have your eye on and you're excited about, just your overall thoughts about the whole show. I would love, and I do mean this, brothers and sisters, I would love to hear from y'all. You can either call in at 443-380-0281 and let your voice be heard to be a part of listener feedback, or you can email the show. And the email address is theanalogcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Again, guys, I just want to thank y'all for being here. I was your host, Kiaun Mitchell, and you guys are very, very appreciated. Thank y'all. So with that being said, it depends on y'all. I would love to record this listener feedback, hearing back from you guys, because it would make my day. I really look forward to hearing from you guys. So with that being said, before we officially wrap this thing up and put a bow on it, always remember one thing. It is not about the consoles. It is about the games. So depending on you guys, possibly between Wednesday or Thursday, when we do it again. Until then, you guys take care. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.